I'm gonna react to two Maddie Balls, hip hop's most embarrassing features. So I saw J. Cole on the cover. He has to be talking about Grippy because that was one of the worst things I've ever heard in my freaking life. I promise to you. Terrible. Awful. Let me think. Let me think of some other ones. I don't know. I can't think right now. But yeah, I'm down for it. I like these types of videos. Maddie Ball's videos are dope. So let's just get into it.
Can make or break a song. Like the insane hype when Kendrick popped out on Like That by Future, or when Academics lost his mind when Drake came in on Sicko Mode. But on occasion, a featured artist can have a verse so bad you gotta wonder, how did the original artist even approve of this? So today we're going to be looking into some of hip-hop's most embarrassing features, starting off with Logic's verse on the Caterpillar remix. Caterpillar is a song by
Okay, so on his other video that I reacted to that now I'm not even knowing, was it the worst albums or something? He was talking about Logic and he mentioned this, and because Logic like literally crashed out on this song. And in that video, I went and listened to it for myself. Kind of showed my reaction, just like a little bit, cause so I didn't get copyrighted. Cause I was like, "What the hell, bro? Tweaked. He's tweaked. Fuck."
to 5ix9ine featuring Eminem and King Green. It was originally released on his album Book of Ryan back in 2018. Then there was a remix put out featuring Logic instead of Eminem, and the verse was very questionable. It started off sort of normal, but then it just kind of devolved over time into Logic
like it sounded good in the beginning
about being a white rapper. He said, "It's crazy how everyone's so obsessed with my race, because I'm..."
Let me do it, because I'll give y'all like kind of how he was talking. He was like,
"It's crazy how everyone's so obsessed with my race." I said obsessed. All right. Bleep. Take two. White rapper. What's it like to be a white rapper? White.
It like to be a white rapper, Logic? Oh, and I was just like, just never talked about it. Like, man, it's so great being a white rapper. White.
He's like, white. You know that like the demon emoji when mofos sound like they use it when somebody sound like crazy low key? That's what it was given. It's like, oh shit.
Fuck you, you piece of shit, mixed biracial fucking cunt. Out of context, that would sound really bad.
I didn't hear that part.
But anyways, this was actually what the verse was. It was just him talking, and he wasn't actually like even rapping. Like nothing rhymed. He wasn't doing rhythmically. He was just talking. And I can't play it, but if you got the time, I definitely listen to it because I don't convey the emotions of him yelling as well as he actually did. But to put this verse in context, Logic had been dealing with people calling him corny for a while now. And part of that was because of how often he brought up being biracial. There are even entire compilations of him talking about it.
And my blood is a slave and a master. It's like the devil playing spades with the pastor.
Cole's biracial, Drake's biracial, Obama's biracial.
Is
My
what?
father's black, yeah.
And your mom is white.
Yep.
But he was born with the white privilege. Man, what the fuck is that? White people told me as a child, as a little boy playing with his toys, I should be ashamed to be black. And some black...
And I like the song, I do. I used to listen to that song, but it was like, damn, bro, like, we get it. Golly, Mariah Carey don't gotta do all of this.
Look ashamed when I rap, like my great-granddaddy didn't take a whip to the back.
Okay. Now, from first impression, though, you look white.
I know a lot of biracial people. I look Hispanic, you know, like with my curly hair. Extra light skin, ultra light skin.
People especially went after him for this because of his album Everybody, where he had songs
Africarian? Like an Aryan? Whatever.
called things like Afric-Aryan. And of course, the album called Everybody was about things like race, sexual orientation, mental health, and things like that, which a lot of people called corny. I think people clowned on Logic so hard, and that's what resulted in him snapping and recording that verse for Caterpillar. Anyway, the reason his verse wasn't on the original song is apparently because 1, it would have been too long, and 2, Logic couldn't make the video shoot. Royce said, "Originally, I put Logic on the record. Logic got on the record, smoked it. I also made sure to point out that y'all better stop dissing Logic." Royce also said that they couldn't figure out a good time for the video shoot and that the song that had both verses would have been 12 minutes. Apparently, Royce even said M and Logic smoked him. He also said in regards to Logic's verse, "It's one of those shut the internet down for a couple of days verses for sure." And I think he had to have just been trying to be nice to Logic because no one else received this verse very well. A bunch of fans on Reddit expressed their feelings saying things like, "Man, that Logic verse made me cringe. That Logic verse was embarrassing." And the fact that he was hyping this up, I actually don't even know what to say. Man, I've been following Logic since Under Pressure, but goddamn, Logic needs to know when to quit. Logic did talk about how all of the commentary online severely affected him mentally.
Hip hop was the most beautiful thing to me, and then it became the thing that actually made me the most depressed and the most sad because of all the negativity that is kind of on the surface of mainstream hip hop. The actual hip hop itself is extremely beautiful, kind of the side that isn't necessarily seen on television and on the radio, the true culture.
Because of all this, Logic sort of retired, but if you're a fan of Logic, you know that that basically means he was going to make music more organically, have more fun with it, and connect with his fans more.
Chevy Equinox.
After all these controversies in his album Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, which I talked about in a previous video, it led to Logic seemingly giving up on the internet, saying, you know what, F you guys, and retiring, as well as putting out his final studio album, No Pressure. Although I think his new albums are studio albums anyway. But regardless, it seems like he's in a much better place, which is really cool. And while you might expect a verse like this from someone such as Logic, J. Cole hit us with a verse that nobody could have possibly seen coming. I need to set the stage for this one. It's March of 2024, and Kendrick Lamar just dissed both Drake and J. Cole on the track Like That. He called them out and said, forget about the big three, it's just Big Me. Now, while his diss was
By the way, I will be doing a video covering all of the disses from Kendrick, Cole, and Drake. All them other people, I'm sorry, y'all gotta fall to the wayside. I do not care about Kanye saying, Kendrick, I got you. I don't give a fuck. And Rick Ross had some cool stuff going on, but I'm not reacting to that. Okay, whatever. So anyways, I'm gonna be doing a video from first person shooter all the way to the Heart Part 6, unfortunately. We have to, you know, do it all. And that'll be out April 30th. I'm excited for that, honestly. I would put it out tomorrow if I thought that would be good, but I just feel like it would be better fitting on the anniversary.
aimed at Drake, it also grazed Cole, and people were waiting for a response. Then, shortly after that, J. Cole responded on his EP Might Delete Later, more specifically on the track 7 Minute Drill. This diss was weak. Most fans did not like it, and Cole didn't like it either. I know that for a fact because right after it came out, he said this at a concert that he deeply regrets taking shots at Kendrick.
So I'm so proud of that project, except for one part. It's one part of that shit that make me feel like, man, that's the lamest shit I ever did in my life, right? Because I got the world and I got my niggas like, what you gonna do, Cole? My niggas like, boy, I must have had 1,000 missed calls. Oh my fucking God.
Kendrick's my favorite rapper. J. Cole's my second. It is what it is, you know? I had some really, to be honest, when they was going back, or when it was like the beef, and I heard that J. Cole responded, I was like, what the fuck? It's my two faves. What's up? I don't like this. I don't like this. I was like, no, Kendrick and Drake, because, you know, I feel it is what it is. You feel me? I got my feelings about Drake already, so it just felt easier. But with J. Cole and Kendrick, I was like, oh my God, my heart. We're never getting the album now. I've been waiting since they both had short hair. They done grown their hair out, and one done cut it all off. We back to like what?
The world want to see blood. I don't know if y'all can feel that, but the world want to see blood. So I say all of that to say, in my spirit of trying to like get this music out, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to like jab my nigga back, and I try to keep it friendly, but at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace.
By this point, a ton of fans were clowning on Cole for being weak or being lame or ducking the
It don't even
matter at this point. Yes, the shit was weird, and I mean, you could say what you want. You could look at it from the mature aspect and be like, he, you know, first of all, he apologized publicly, and he, whatever. You can look at it in a mature light, or you can look at it from like, I guess, a hip hop sense and be like, you know, that was a bitch ass shit. But I don't care, because at this point, we got a mofo suing, and who gives a fuck now? Who gives a fuck about an apology? Mofos took it to the people. He took it to the people, took it to the feds, the mofos, okay? I don't give a fuck. Bro is fed as hell. I don't care if you're the biggest Drake fan, you could love his music. You have to admit, he's fed. And if you don't, you're delusional. And I know whoever you dating is playing the fuck out your ass. I swear to you, I already know because you're stupid. He's fed as fuck. Federal lawsuit. This man just said he felt scared for his life. Mob ties, but you feel scared for your life over a diss track? Shit. Listen. Listen. I don't give a fuck.
Bruh,
Especially
the fuck?
after years of claiming that he was the #1 rapper. He was always talking about how good he was and how he'd smoke any rapper that stepped to him. When this happened, everyone started clowning on J. Cole, and I can't lie, a lot of the memes were pretty funny. They were comparing him to Thorfinn and Jogo. It was crazy. A fellow rapper, Mick Jenkins, even said, "As a rapper's rapper, as a competitor, I am
Mick
surprised,
Jenkins.
I am disgusted." Gus is a little too far, but you get the point. Academics said, J. Cole just gave Kendrick Lamar a bye round in the battle. Kendrick don't even gotta drop another song. What the fuck is going on? We've never seen this in the history of rap. Sure,
You know what else we've never seen? A lawsuit. Academics, are you making content like this about Drake? Are you making tweets?
a bunch of fans that thought Cole took the high road, but like I said, after years of claiming to be the best rapper on tracks such as First Person Shooter, people were upset. He even
Sure. And one more thing. I understand what some Cole fans have said. I'm covering my mouth because I'm eating. My thing is like I feel like some of the Cole fans said like, oh well, he apologized. He's mature. What da da da. Roles reverse, and Kendrick apologized to J. Cole. Y'all would have ate that man up because the tone switched. It just went from seen them same J. Cole stands talking about, yeah, he gonna kill him. He's so much better than him. Yeah, he just gonna eat him alive. Da 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 da. And all of a sudden now it's, oh, he's just so mature. He's just so mature. I'm like, pick a side. Damn.
did the 7-minute drill song after that concert. And guess what Cole followed all of this up with? An extremely embarrassing guest verse on a song
It was actually one of the
called
most
Grippy.
the worst
Now,
things
most
I've
of
ever
you,
heard
if
in
you've
my
heard
life.
the song, probably thought it was a J. Cole song, because if you have heard it, you've only heard like 15 seconds of it on TikTok, and it's just J. Cole. But it's actually from an artist named Cash Cobain, whose verses weren't too much better, but Cash Cobain is actually
Who
a
I will
producer
never
who
forgive
makes
for
his
this
own music,
bullshit.
which usually is pretty good. And if you haven't heard the song, well, let me just read you guys an excerpt from Cole's verse. He said,
She like my kick game, and when you don't kick game. I never looked at these lyrics. I put her front row at the Nick game. Now she in my phone with a nickname. Oh, this shit is so ass. It's it's grippy, grippy, grippy. I call her that because she grippy or whatever. I don't know what the fuck he said, bro. Oh.
she in my phone with a nickname.
Yeah, whatever.
This was just the worst thing to hear from one of the best rappers of our generation, man. It was really sad, especially coming off his beef with Kendrick when he bowed out. At this time, it genuinely seemed like it could have been the end of Cole. Thankfully, it wasn't, because he came back with bangers. Like his last song, Clouds, is phenomenal. But at that time, it was just so sad to see. Fans immediately got upset, with some saying things like, legitimately grating to listen to. What a month it's been. Kendrick took out Drake and Cole took out Cole. He should delete this verse later too. Rolling Stone even put out an article titled, J. Cole dodges beef, chooses cheeks on Cash Cobain's Grippy. It got to the point that even Cash Cobain himself had to chime in on the controversy. He said in an interview with Elliot Wilson, no one understands from the outside looking in what we really go through. You think Cole really care about a verse that y'all talking about? He probably dealing with some other shit right now, but he probably got some fire shit coming for y'all. If you were to listen to Dunk Contest, you would really know it's a Dunk Contest remix. What, you wanted him to bar you up all day? Come on, bro. And I can see where Cash Cobain is coming from, but just because Cole wasn't spitting bars doesn't mean that he had to tell us he had a girl named Grippy in his phone. Regardless,
shit was
J.
ass.
Cole
I
wasn't
don't
the
care
only
what
guy
you
to
wanna
seemingly
say.
be suffering from the Kendrick beef, because Drake also dropped an extremely
Wagwan.
embarrassing verse. In a very similar situation to Cole, Drake had just got bodied by Kendrick, at least in most fans' perspectives, and I don't know how this managed to happen, but both Drake and J. Cole dropped probably their worst verses ever immediately after the Kendrick beef. A month after Kendrick had everybody calling Drake a pedo on Not Like Us, he got on the song Wagwan Delilah by Snow Day. This song is exactly what you think it is. a parody of Hey There Delilah where half the words are replaced by Toronto slang. Drake's verse says things like, Wagwan Delilah, no I'm late cause there's bad traffic. I just showed my doggy Graham. He said he knows a man that slapped it. I'm so cheesed. I hope you guys like my singing there. And to be entirely fair to Drake, he made it with a social media personality known as Snow Day who does TikTok content and likes to exaggerate the Toronto accent. Drake also reposted the song on his Instagram with the caption, Wake the city up, with some laughing emojis. So clearly he wasn't taking it too serious. And clearly neither was Snow Day either. I mean, he had this funny ass line in his verse too. Regardless though, the reason that this is embarrassing is because of the context. That this man just got out the beef with Kendrick and starts making dumbass songs like this. People were so confused. And Complex even put out an article titled, Trying to Make Sense of Drake's Wagwan Delilah Remix. There was also an overwhelming amount of people that thought this was AI because of how bad it sounded, and that's gotta hurt when people think your song is so bad it sounds like AI. Billboard even did a whole investigation into whether or not it was AI, and it was a shitty investigation, but they said probably not. And I think the rumors were put to sleep after Drake himself reposted the track. People on Twitter were saying things like, nothing could have prepared me to what I was about to hear when I pressed play. What did Kendrick do?
But let's really like, okay, if you could only hear one more song and the choices were Wagwan Delilah and Grippy, what are you taking? You have to pick one. You have to pick one. Which one are you choosing? I don't have to answer this question. This is for you because
on Reddit said, a second Grippy has just hit the r/hiphop heads towers. Had Drake maybe waited a while to release this and maybe put out some good songs first, I think it would have been more well received as a joke as intended. But following the intensity of the beef where you guys are calling each other abusers and pedos and stuff like that, I think a lot of fans were hoping for some more bars. Drake even performed this song at a concert and it is definitely funny, but the timing and the context made this moment quite embarrassing. And this song never really did that well commercially. It actually did bad. However, Kodak Black was able to pull off having a very embarrassing verse on a Diamond certified song. On March 10th of 2017, A Boogie with the Hoodie dropped a melody that had this somewhat serious type of vibe. And
you know,
A Boogie,
I've never like intentionally listened to A Boogie with the Hoodie, to be honest. Like when I saw that like so many people liked him, I was like, bro, what is a song by him, to be honest? Because I don't know.
killing the track. Fans were loving it
I know
until they
this,
heard
I think.
Kodak Black's verse. His verse wasn't even that bad in my opinion, but I feel like it just mismatched the song. Plus, halfway through his verse, he says, I'm the shit I'm farting, I don't know how to potty. Half of the comments on the song are making fun of Kodak's verse, particularly about that one line about not knowing how to potty. A lot of fans even suggested
I'm
that
sorry,
Kodak
bro. Because he's like low-key like a crackhead now. And it's like really sad. But that just sounded like something he would say. Was he a crackhead then? No, like, no, I'm being insensitive. I'm so sorry. Was he addicted to substances then? Because it's giving that. I want to hear it. We have to hear it. Hold on. Should we wait? I guess we should wait. Okay.
Can anyone make a version with Kodak's part cut out? Most people were not enjoying this verse. Even Blackie Speaks made a whole video talking about how
Oh my
Kodak
God.
ruined this song with so many fans agreeing
Is he on the
in
toilet?
comments.
In my mind, Kodak Black does not even exist on the song because in my mind, it ends at the 1 minute and 59 second mark.
It would have fit better, especially if Kodak wasn't singing. But when you hear him sing, I'm the shit I'm farting, I don't know how to potty, it just completely
He's
kills the
singing
vibe.
it?
Again, I like Kodak, and since he was really big around this time, it totally made sense why A Boogie would want that collab, but it didn't mesh too well. Regardless of the Kodak verse, people obviously didn't mind too much because this song is certified diamond, but I think A Boogie is mostly to thank for that. And this section is definitely a little bit goofier because no one was like really mad at Kodak. It wasn't that embarrassing, you know. Kodak, he's a crazy guy, but really it just hindered the song at most. And if you thought that was bad, well, we got another embarrassing verse from Logic. But
Golly,
this time,
Logic.
it caused a whole storm of controversy. This time, Logic was featured on a song called Sriracha by
Because him and Jordan Lucas were low-key beefing. And then, yeah, Logic's part was not good.
9. If you don't know Tech 9, he's a well-respected rapper who is known for his more rapid-fire style flow. Logic is also known for doing things like this, so a collaboration made sense. However, because another rapper, Joyner Lucas, was on this song, also bringing in some of the rippity-dippity flows, Logic felt the need to be different and was acting pretty strange in his verse. Logic kicked off his verse breaking the fourth wall by saying, "I guess I'm supposed to come with that fast flow, but no, I'ma just spit it. I'ma get it good. Wish you would tell me what I should do. I don't know. Hit the door. Feel like I've been here before." Off rip, this sounds like a drunk freestyle that your buddy's singing in the back of the car. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna hit it. I'm gonna spit it. I'm gonna quit it. And Logic is a talented rapper. He's had some great verses, so it was really disappointing for fans to hear this. However, it got worse when later in the verse he said, "Tech, I'm sorry for the holdup, but I've been on the road. Should have had this verse to your ass a long time ago." This was just pretty corny and actually started an entire beef between Logic and Joyner Lucas, who felt like Logic had just half-assed his verse.
When I met Tech 9, he played this one record called Sriracha. I want to get on. I'm a Tech fan. I said, yo, let me get on.
I thought they been had beef. This was the start of the beef? Oh, shit.
He said Logic's supposed to get on this. I was like, I just thought it was me, Tech, and Logic. Like, you know what I mean? He does that fast shit too, so I thought it would be cool. And months go by. Finally, we get the record back. And it's like, man, I guess I'm supposed to come with that gas flow, but nah, I'ma just spit it. I'ma get it good. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you saying right now, bro?
Clearly, Joyner was very upset, and he said this on Instagram. Fun fact, Logic had me in Tech 9's verse for 6 months before he sent back his disrespectful freestyle verse for Sriracha. Tech 9 still feels a way about that shit, and they ain't spoke since. No hate over here. Logic is talented, and I don't take that away. This is just facts. Lol ain't no I'm just having some fun. In this, he said that
that must have not been the right thing. I was like, bro, can I just not read anymore? Because that didn't say that.
9 felt a type of way about it, and Tech 9 was eventually asked about this track in an interview where he gave his thoughts.
Logic, Joyner Lucas. You know, Joyner's a shooter.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yes, he is.
He recently said that Logic gave you a half-ass verse on Sriracha.
Yeah.
What you think about that?
Well,
at GoMac,
the way it came about is that I showed the track to Logic on his tour. I went on his tour bus and I just played it for him. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm on that one." I said, "Okay," but he got so busy.
Yeah.
It took him like 6 months or more. You know what I'm saying? Within that 6 months, I met Joyner, and he got on my tour bus, and I said, "This is the one I'm gonna do with Logic." And he said, "Oh, let me get on there with Logic." I'm like,
Tech said after Joyner did his verse, he sent the song to Logic, and he had a theory that Logic didn't want to compete with Joyner.
You know what I'm saying? But I think, I could be wrong. You probably gotta ask Logic. But I think that Joyner did so much that Logic is like, I'm not about to try to compete with that.
I'm not about to even.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know, he say,
which happens.
Yeah, and he freestyled. I didn't know that his fans are used to him freestyling. But when Tech 9 give you a song, you come with it.
You bring your A game.
I told Joyner that, man, I just wish he didn't freestyle, man. I wish he would have just went and did his chopper style.
Did what he do, yeah. When he do his chopper style.
Because Joyner actually did.
Following this, Logic and Joyner had a beef for quite a while, which is ironic since both of them are sort of viewed as corny rappers. Joyner called Logic corny and dissed him on a track when he said, 44 shots traumatized in front of 45, hit 44 more, carbon copies say you kamikazes, that's for everybody. Joyner even said that Logic stole the idea for his hit song 1-800 from Joyner.
I'm sorry.
Logic responded to Joyner saying on a song, "Talking shit about Logic, I never respond. I'll let the success talk. Cause a word of advice, more achievements for yourself and less talk. Cats beef with Logic, yeah, they pray and I respond. If I ever did, I'd dead you in this game with no respawn." Eventually, they did patch it up, but it's crazy that this one half-ass verse created this whole beef. And while Logic may have created an entire beef with his verse, it seems like Smiley may have started and ended his career.
Who is it?
So I know that this is not technically a feature, it's actually Smiley's song, but let me make my case here real quick. I feel like when Drake hops on a small artist song, I think most of us feel as if it sort of ends up being Drake's song. For example, Look Alive by Black Boy JB was really just Drake's song. and fans in the comments agree. Regardless, the track Over the Top by Smiley and Drake took the world by storm when it came out.
Who?
And this is why.
What?
Prada and Gucci don't go together. Louis and Dior, I swear go better.
Everybody was clowning Smiley, saying that he sounds zesty and stuff like that. One person said,
"Fuck zesty, you sound dumb."
Which is genders whenever he raps. Smiley got that daddy chill flow. Someone else said, the beat, hard. Drake's verse, hard. Smiley's verse, hard to listen to. The track was going viral on TikTok with everyone making fun of Smiley's contributions, saying that Drake saved the song. And let's be real here, Drake had a really good verse, so it's really tough for a newer rapper especially to be
I bet,
because
that's the type of
Everyone was
song
saying
he
that Drake
could, like,
carried,
eat on.
and it was true because he went crazy, and the whole Prada and Gucci they don't go together thing became a huge meme.
Why don't Gucci and Prada go together?
Prada and Gucci don't go together. Louis and Dior, because Louis and Dior go better. That's why.
This whole incident left everyone wondering, why is Drake collaborating with this guy? I even made a whole video about it back in the day because people really couldn't understand it. To be fair though, in that video I talked about how I think Smiley did have some good songs and that him and Drake just had a genuine relationship. Drake genuinely likes him and Smiley's music is just very deeply rooted in that Toronto sound, which clearly is not for everybody. So it did make sense though that the two collaborated. This song even charted, mostly fueled by Drake's verse and the memes, but it did still chart at 57 on the Billboard Hot 100. So it seems as if the masses were not fully prepared for Smiley's heavy Toronto accent and cadence. Of course, there are plenty of other very embarrassing features in rap and other genres, of course, so if you guys have any that you want me to talk about again, let me know in the comments below. Personally, for this one, I just picked some that I thought would be fun and funny to talk about. And if you guys like this video, you might like my video about the most embarrassing albums in hip-hop.
That's what I reacted to. Yes, that's the one I reacted to. But excuse me, Jesus Christ. I'm trying to think of like any songs where I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, Lil Wayne, is it 6 foot, 7 foot? Bro gotta go. Guns, shit, whoever he don't need to be on the song. Oh God, we could just snip, cut him out. I don't know. Every time he come on, I'd be like, okay. But there's multiple songs where I feel like that about, but I can't think of them right now. But yeah, y'all tell me what you think. Let me tell me some of the like the songs that you think have like bad features. Um, yeah, my brain's not working right now. Anyways, y'all like, come subscribe, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, and I'll see y'all in the next one.